welcome to PTV World's special Eid transmission. And first of all, a very happy Eid Mubarak to all our viewers. We have some interesting guests in our studio today, and we will talk to them about what they're up to, how they celebrate their Eid. So without further ado, let me introduce to you. First of all, we have Azuba with us, and Azuba is a model, and she's also studying to be a lawyer. In fact, she has graduated and is now getting ready to enter the field, and at the same time, she's also a model, so we'll talk to her about that. And we've also been joined by Ali Qureshi, who is a very well-known fashion designer, and we'll talk to him about what makes him tick, why he got into this particular field, and so on and so forth. So let's start the conversation. Azuba, first of all, welcome to PTV World Studios, and Eid Mubarak to you as well.
Eid Mubarak to you as well.
So let's start with the Eid aspect. How do you celebrate Eid traditionally, or is it something newfangled?
Firstly, we get up early in the morning, we get ready for the breakfast, and males go out for the prayer. We wait for them, and after that, Eid celebrations begin. We start different preparations at the kitchens. You know, this is all about the preparing and cooking the food. So we prepare the biryani as well, and prepare a dinner. So
this is a meat festivity.
Exactly, this is a meat festival.
But you're cooking rice.
Biryani, that is a special.
Okay, it has meat in it.
That is a meeting, and then the barbecue and the steaks as well. So it is all about the fun, getting together for quite a long time. And this is very special for me because I just got free from my exams. So this is Independence Eid for me. So I'm really very happy and enjoying this Eid.
So tell us about why you've chosen the profession that you went into, which is law. As you just told me, and then along with law, you're also a model. How does that work out? Do you have enough time to handle these things?
Basically, law is all about the creativity of the mind, and modeling is also something like it's also a creative field. So I choose both of them, not from right now, but from my childhood, when I see the people going in the court and discussing different matters, say, oh, criminal and family as well. So I was very interested in talking about that. So I choose the field of law by my choice because that fascinates me a lot. Different organizations, different NGOs, they are working for the women. So I work for the women, and the modeling field, that is also a creative field. I love to act. I love to present myself as I feel better. So that's why side by side in my university, in my college, I attend different festivals, different events.
That's okay. Continue. You attend different events, and you also promote women's rights while you're at it.
Exactly. I perform, and I appreciate it a lot by my teachers, by my elders and all that. So that's
And you didn't have any problems from your parents when they found out that you were interested in this field?
No, because
did they say first do your law and then you can...
I'm not the first person. My sister is also a fashion designer. So I have support for her especially, and I am here because of her. So I say thanks to my sister who appreciated me everywhere in my law field, in my fashion field. So I am here with my family support.
Okay, that's very good to know. Ali, fashion designing is not something that we see a lot of men choose as a profession. And you, well, we have a lot of fashion designers who are men, but they exclusively design clothes for women. But when it comes to men's fashion designing, you know, there's hardly anybody out there. And besides, men don't really indulge so much in fashion, or do they? What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. Actually, when people ask me that, why did you enter in this field, I always tell them that whenever I used to go to the market, I didn't find anything good to wear for myself. So I ended up becoming a fashion designer. By education, I'm a business graduate, so I wanted to do something of my own, and this was something which inspired me a lot. So I always wanted to wear good clothes. When I was a student, I had less budget, so I used to make clothes for myself, for my friends. So they appreciated me, and then I realized that this is something which I can start off with.
So you started stitching your own clothes?
Well, I don't stitch myself, but I have tailors who do that. I design
I'm talking
clothes.
about in the beginning when you were a student and so on, because obviously you need to learn the trade and you have to be comfortable with the craft.
When I was in my university, because this is not my family business, nobody else had this business in my family before. So when I was studying, I I used to make clothes for my university fellows, and I used to make clothes for myself. So that's how it started off. When I used to make shirts for myself. I used to make shirts, and I went to university, and a lot of people were asking that, oh wow, that's a really nice shirt. Where did you get it from? So I used to tell them I designed it myself. So they started asking that, why don't you design something for me as well? So then I realized that there is some market for this, that people want to wear something, because there are so many. When I'm talking about 2008 and 2007 and 8. At that time, there was not a lot of brands in the market. And now the market is saturated with a lot of brands. So at that time,
But still, there's very
yeah.
few options for men. I mean, it's very basic. You just wear a
Yeah.
shalwar kameez, or
Yes.
you wear a suit, or you wear jeans and a t-shirt.
But
What fashion designing is there really in that?
Well, since this is something God gifted that I've been inherited with from my father's side. I've been inherited with the creative instinct. So I used to make things twisted in some other way. Like if you see the shalwar kameez, we have introduced a different shalwar kameez, which is being inspired by the Western culture and the Eastern fusion as well. So we add elements to the collars. We make different cuts to the collars, to the cuffs, to the sleeves, and you can have your own signature on your cuff. You can get a lot of customized
Custom made,
things.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we actually make things customized for yourself. People always ask them that we go to the ready-to-wear brands. We don't find fittings of our choice. We don't find the cuts of our choice. We have to get the collar stance as simple as they offer us. So they come to us, they ask for different cuts which they have seen in international brands, or they wanted to have something of their own choice. People have their own themes for different events. For if you talk about weddings, like you see that now weddings are really happening. So they are really ceremonial. People have in my business, people get clothes for their mehndi events, for their wedding events, for Bharat and Walima. So in Mehndi, they have different themes. Some people have the truck art theme, some people have the scooter theme, and a lot of things like that. So we make clothes according to that.
So weddings are a huge entertainment event along with being a wedding.
Yes, yes, of course.
That's what it's become. And it's a huge business actually.
Yes, that's it. That is.
Even the setting and setting up the stage and all of that is what do you call it, designing, exterior designing, can't be interior designing.
Yeah, if you see the Islamabad business industry in terms of wedding, it has been revolutionized.
All right.
Because there was nothing like this before. There are a lot of marquees now set up in Islamabad. We used to see this when we used to go to Lahore and Karachi, that the weddings were big events. They had a lot of marquees and stuff. But now Islamabad is as good as Lahore and Karachi, I would say.
Wow. So tell us about Eid. How do you celebrate Eid traditionally with your parents? You go to your village, slaughtering the sacrificial animals?
Well, unfortunately, we don't go to the village since my father is in Islamabad since he was a child. So we don't have ties connected with the village anymore. So that's something I really feel bad about. But we celebrate Eid here in the city. It's a city where people are from the outside. So on the Eid days, you hardly see the empty roads. So some of the time when sleeping, then we go early morning to the prayers and for the slaughtering and things like that. And then the usual Eid stuff, we meet over.
So how does Islamabad really celebrate? Since you are a true Islamabadi, then how do people in Islamabad traditionally celebrate Eid-ul-Adha? Because obviously it's a different kind of Eid. There's the sacrificial animals involved. Do you buy the animals, look after them as it's supposed to be done, or you just go there on the market and just pick one and slaughter it?
Since I've grown up, now I do my own qurbani. My father used to do before. Now I have my own animal. My father has his own animal. So we always go together. My mother, she slaughters as well. So we buy like 2-3 animals and we go together to the bazaar and we buy the animals. Then we come back home. We take care of them. We feed them. And that's really fun. I really enjoy doing
It's
that.
also a lot to do with this particular Eid has the spirit of sacrifice imbued in it, and it is also a time when we are supposed to think about those who are less fortunate than us. And a lot of the meat that is slaughtered is supposed to be distributed among the poor and the needy. And do you think that tradition is carried on well in the Islamabadi community?
That's really important. That's a really important point you have just raised, because I've seen that people, when they slaughter, they're sending all of their bakras to the deep
neighbors.
freezers, and then they keep on eating that for months and months. I would always say that that's totally wrong. I mean, we should. That's not for us. That's for the people who cannot eat food, good food throughout the year. So that's what we do. We practice at home, and I would always suggest that the people who do not do that, they should actually practice this by doing more charity, by sending this meat to the deserving people, actually.
And we've also seen, Azuba, that technology has started to play a very important role in our lives. And now you have these websites or these websites generally where you can just go and participate in somebody's sacrifice, whether it's a goat or a camel or a larger animal. And you don't actually have to buy an animal, but you can just do it online. Have you witnessed any of that, or do you plan to use that forum at any time?
My uncle, yeah, he used to live in America, so you know there is not a they don't celebrate Eid like us. So they go online, they pay the money, and then they get the confirmation message that their contribution has been done, and then they distribute that in the poor. And we also export that meat in the poor countries as well. So that is the international sacrificing as well. So I have witnesses by my uncle.
Okay, and tell us what have you planned this year? How many animals are you planning to sacrifice, and what are you planning to do after you go home from this show?
After this show, you know, in Pakistan, mostly people used to sacrifice together in the families. So we are planning for a camel and 2 cows and almost approximately 8 goats.
Well, that's a lot of meat that you're going to be distributing among the poor, I hope. But there's also this concern that in this day and age, this practice needs to be changed, in the sense that I just witnessed somebody on the Facebook putting up a water cooler outside their house and said that this year I'm not buying a goat to sacrifice, but I'm going to install a water cooler outside my house so that poor people passing by can get some water. And that is also something that is different, but it is also within the spirit of sacrifice and also helping those who are in need. Do you think that this is a good practice, or do you think that religiously speaking one should stick to the traditions and sacrifice animals?
I appreciate that. Exactly, it's a good practice to giving the water to those who are the thirsty. But this Eid is sacrificing of the meat and the goat especially. So I don't think so that people used to do practice of putting the cooler or the water outside their houses. They just distribute the meat among the poor, and they don't distribute the water among the poor especially.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break over here, and when we return, we'll continue with our conversation. So stay with us. Welcome back to our special Eid transmission, and now we're lucky we also have a new guest in the studio, and his name is Nick Mateen. He is a singer, and we will be talking to him about what drives him and what made him choose this line of work. But I'm sure he's doing something else as well, and we'll talk about that. We're also in conversation with Azuba, who's a model, and with Ali Qureshi, who's a fashion designer. We'll talk to them as well during the course of our program. But first, let's start with Nick. Nick, you tell us about yourself. Why did you choose music? What drives you? And what else are you doing in life?
Well, basically, ever since a young age, I was very into music. Growing up, I was influenced a lot by my siblings, of course. And I felt as though music was something that can make a person seem as though they're a little above average. And as a kid, it's funny, but I didn't want to be labeled average, right? That's funny because, like, academically, that wasn't that important for me, at least growing up. But at that time, music seemed like this thing that would bring an element to my personality that would make me a bit unique.
All right, that makes sense. And now what are you studying in?
I'm studying public relations and advertising in Cyprus.
Right.
And yeah, basically, I don't have the same mentality as I did when I was a kid, of course. So
Oh, it's good to have you in our studios, and let's hear something that you would like to play for
Sure
us.
thing,
You
sure
could play something that you choose. Keeping in with the theme of Eid, and
I'll play you a happy song, I guess. All right.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I'm in love with you.
very nice. Azuba, what did you think of that?
That was really amazing. There was a slow-based music, and I really enjoyed it a lot. There was a rich of the romance and the beauty of like what he was saying, and in a slow motion.
Is
So I like
jazz,
that.
you know?
Exactly.
You like jazz music?
Yeah, but I do like.
All right. Okay, Nick, tell us what do you traditionally do for Eid? I mean, this is you know, the Bakra Eid, the Badi Eid, where
Well-
we sacrifice animals.
Traditionally, we would, sacrifice an animal, of course, and we would. I prefer beef. I don't know what
You
preferences.
better
are
not
here.
go to India then.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. Of course, get together with the family. Have a good time. Just like it's. I think Eid. The most important thing about Eid is like you should be close to family a lot, and if you have time, maybe your friends. But more importantly, family. Especially for me, coming back in the summer, I'm quite excited for Eid actually. Not only will I get to eat a lot of nice food, but it will also be a good time to spend with my family.
Absolutely. Family
Yeah.
is what's really important on these particular occasions.
True.
Ali, you tell us that this time, did you have a lot of clients coming to you and ordering clothes for Eid? And what kind of clothes do they prefer to wear on such occasions?
Yes, of course. As this is the festivity of Eid, people always come to buy kurtas and shalwar kameez for the upcoming event.
So are there any specific requests for, like, I want this particular custom made, maybe I want a goat embroidered on my sleeve?
People are really choosy about their clothes. I mean, if sometimes, as you were saying that, why did you choose this business for guys? Actually, they are really picky about their clothes. People coming, they're telling us very minute details about their clothes, that they want very small designs implanted on their cuffs, on their collars and stuff like that. They want waistcoats with the embroidered logos on top of it. They want something embroidered on their collars. They want something nice and cool for the Eid event.
All right, talk to us about how important is it also an occasion for family to get together? So do you have lots of relatives visiting you on this particular day, or do you go visiting your relatives? What's the schedule that your family follows?
Yes, since throughout the year we're really busy in doing stuff like business and things like that. So these are the only events when we get to meet all of our family relatives. So generally, I do not prefer meeting my friends on Eid days. I always keep that on the 4th day or stuff, so that I just give them full time and they spend my quality time with my family and cousins and things like that.
So, talking about family time, why is it that only these religious occasions such as Eid are the ones that we give time to our family and, you know, spend most of the other time of the year with our friends, preferably, and it's only these occasions that we choose to spend with family, when it should be that one should have, you know, a good relationship with their family all through the year as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, balance in life is really important. I always tell people, to the youngsters, to the people who are coming up in the business, well, from whichever profession you are either you're from media, either you're from business, from politics, or whatever profession you have, you must take out time for your family, for your own self, in fact. Because when you're working, I have seen people that they become workaholic and they do not even give time to themselves. I always try to take out an hour for myself in a day. I either go to gym, I go to walk or something, or play some sport. Because that gives you a refresher to yourself. And when you're happy, then you can keep people happy around you.
Absolutely.
If you're just stressed out and you're working, you know, from 9 to 12, and when you come home and you're stressed out and your wife is sitting waiting for you, your mother wants to talk to you, and you're stressed out of some problem at work, so you don't want to talk to them, that's really bad. So I always prefer, I sit in a market. This is an example I would like to quote to the people out there. I'm sitting in a market where all of the market opens on Sunday, even because they think that they have to work 7 days a week. But I generally close it on Sunday. So, because I prefer, my clients call them, they always ask me to open my outlet on Sunday. But I just do not try to do business on Sunday. I just keep myself at home, I relax, I sleep, I go out with I have a son, I go out with him, I take my wife out. So
it's important to give time to the family, and that's
really
what we're working for in the first place.
Yes.
Azuba, you tell us that you also are a budding lawyer and a model at the same time. What message would you like to give to your peers and the people, you know, from your background, you know, your college mates, or just the general viewers?
Mostly what I feel about that, girls especially don't go out, they feel hesitation and they don't talk to other persons, even where there is a time of necessity to talk about that. They feel hesitate to talk with their parents as well about the special things. They hide the feelings, they hide what they want to do. And after, when I talked to my friend, and she said, okay, I can't talk to my father, what I have to do, what I have to plan. Maybe probably he refused, and they have the hesitation. So I want the girls especially to not to be hesitate with your parents. Explore whatever you want, do whatever you want, because the field is all open. But now the time is not time in the before, when we feel insecure. Now is the time of the media, fast growing media. So there is a sport everywhere. If you take a step out of your house, so there is a lot of possibilities, opportunities for you waiting. So elaborate, explain whatever you want, don't feel hesitation, and do whatever you want to do.
You should keep the channels of communication open between your
Exactly.
parents and yourself.
The problem arises when we hide something inside. We feel like we want to do this, or what he will say. So explore it. Whatever he will say, you have to face it.
Right.
You have different communications. You have to talk with them and give them their logic, your logics, and find a middle way. A middle way to do what you want to do in a precise environment, as far as they allowed you to do, but do it whatever you want.
Absolutely, and most importantly, to keep the communication going between your parents and yourself. That's the best thing that you can do.
Exactly, that is a blessing.
Absolutely. All right, Nick, I think it's time for another song. So can you sing us something nice?
Sure thing. I'll sing you guys something a bit more mainstream.
Took a pill in Ibiza, Shoichi, I was cool. When I finally got sober, felt 10 years older, but it was something to do. I'm living out in LA, drive a sports car just to prove I'm a real big baller, cause I made $1 million, but I spent it on girls and shoes. You don't wanna be high like me, never really knowing why you like me. You don't ever wanna step off that roller coaster all alone. You don't wanna ride a bus like this, never knowing who to trust like this. You don't wanna be stuck up on that stage singing, stuck up on that stage singing. All I know, sad songs, sad songs, darling. All I know, sad songs, sad songs. Hey, I was doing just fine before I met you. I drink too much and that's an issue, but I'm okay. Hey, you tell your friends it was nice to meet them, but I hope I never see them again. No, it breaks your heart through the city in a broke down car, and 4 years no calls. Now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar, and I can't stop. No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on your shoulder, pull the sheets right off the corner, the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting old, we ain't ever getting older. We ain't ever getting older. All I know, sad songs, sad songs.
Very nice. Excellent. Although I'm not a big fan of modern music, but still that was a brilliant cover, I must say. Probably better than the original song. That's very nice. Let's also talk about what are your future plans? What do you see yourself in, let's say, 10 years or so? Do you think that music is something you can pursue and make a career out of?
See, I would say that once I'm done with my degree and everything, I will definitely think about actually coming to Pakistan once I'm done with everything, and that is actually my overall plan, to be settled here and be not only have a profession in something in the media industry. You know, it could be anything. It could be something to do with social media. It could be something to do with maybe something that kind of like what you're doing.
Why not?
Yeah, definitely. That would be great. But I would want to do my music on the same at the same time, and I would actually like to create opportunities for people and underground musicians, as a matter of fact, and I would like to help them go forward. You know, instead of doing something in music, I would like to make something in music.
Now, what we are seeing now, Ali, is that earlier we only had 2 or 3 lines of work that parents would push their children into. They say, okay, you can either become an engineer, a doctor, or a bureaucrat, or some government service. That was the only avenue. But now we're seeing that the younger generation is taking up, you know, artistic expression. There's a lot more social awareness. Where do you think this is all heading towards? Do you think it's a good thing? Because there are also many detractors who stop people from learning music, and they discourage people from going into the arts. Do you think that mentality is now changing, or do you think it's an uphill task? We're still trying to break that glass ceiling, as they say?
Yes, it is changing. I would rather say that a lot of people have changed. Time is changing. New professions are coming in. There was a time when you go to university, there were not a lot of degrees you could choose. Now the journalism is coming in, mass communication, marketing has different segmentations, like a lot of like advertising and things like that. You're getting into the niche of things. So that's really nice. Social media is another reality which has come to our life. So I would always ask the youngsters to do whatever their heart says to do, actually. But there is a thing which have to earn you bread and butter. You have to keep that with that as well. So it's nothing bad that you want to pursue something of your own.
But the thing
so
is
I always, sorry to cut you, but I always say this for the parents, that they always restrict their children to certain particular field, that you have to be an engineer or a doctor. They put some locks on their talent actually. So to children and to the parents, that you have to find a bridge to find a middle way to go to the place where you want to go.
because you did something so unorthodox, you know, choosing a profession.
I used to work in a corporate. I used to work when I completed my degree, since I had to satisfy my parents. So that's where I was working in sales department in some company. Then I realized that I have to make sure to my parents that whatever I want to do, I can do that. But I didn't leave my job. I kept on doing this profession which I'm doing right now, along with that, just to prove them that yes, I can do that. So once I had my first appreciation on, I went to some show. This was a fashion show. I made some clothes and they really recognized them. And I asked my mother to come along with me. So when she went with me and she sat in the crowd and she was looking at that and she's like, yes, you can do that. I mean, whatever you want to do. So when you start making them believe that you can actually do whatever you want to do, they do not stop you to going into that.
And that's very important.
Yes.
Parents should always encourage their children in whatever they are trying to pursue, and that I think is the best policy parents can have towards their children. Azuba, tell us about your experience of working in this modeling field. How did you find the atmosphere? Did you have any problems? And you already told us that your sister is a fashion designer as well, so obviously that would have made it easier for you. But overall, what was your experience like?
In the family, the main thing that I feel the hurdle I faced was that what will the family members says, but they will say that she is going in the modeling field. We have seen a lot of cases in the media field as well. So firstly, rejection from my family. They said that no, you are going to be a lawyer, so that field suits you more. And I said I can perform more than the
Why
law
can't you
field.
do both?
Exactly, that is the field of art, making the different things possible. So I said, Mom, once I can go in the court, I can present a person in front of a judge, then why I can't present myself in front of a media? I know how to do, how to act, and this is feel all about the courage, all about the confidence, and I think I have a lot of. So I can present the public and present those people who can't present their own self. If I can go in a court and present a male person that what he want to say actually and what he want actually from the court, then why I can't face those people who are coming towards me, who want something from me? I can give them the shut-up calls. I have enough confidence and you have encouraged me as well. So she said, okay, I'm besides you. You can do whatever you want.
That is excellent. We hope that other mothers also take a leaf out of that book and help their children to achieve their dreams, and that's very, very important. What kind of music do you like? Do you have any special requests for Nick?
Oh, can you sing like every night in my dreams?
Yeah, I can try. It's gonna sound funny because I'm a guy, but sure, I can try.
All right,
Should
let's
I?
hear it.
Sure.
It's a special
Don't-
request
Don't
from
laugh
Azuba.
at me though, okay? All right, I'll sing it a little bit. It's a Celine Dion song from Titanic.
Exactly.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you, and that is how I know you. Go on. Far across
Please join in.
the
Please join in.
distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Fantastic. That is awesome, Nick. I think we'll ask Ali to make a request from you as well. Ali, do you have any requests?
Okay.
Don't take too long because the audience will go to sleep.
No, I would rather say him. He's singing really nice. I would rather say him. He should sing song of his own choice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
really good. Nick, let's hear it, man.
Okay, so should it be English or Urdu? You'd say.
Well, that's a, I wanted to make a request that there's this song that I heard as a kid, Kurbani, 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 Allah ko pyari hai Kurbani, but I don't think you can sing that for
I
us.
don't think so. I think I was, when you were a kid, I wasn't even born. So
Yeah,
I haven't heard the
definitely.
song.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's hear something from yourself, something that you, well, how about some Bob Marley you were singing earlier?
Sure.
Let's have
actually.
Get Up, Stand Up.
This is, yeah, sure. Get up, stand up.
Or do you know Shiny Shiny? You know Shiny Shiny?
Heard that one. I know No Woman No Cry and Get Up, Stand Up.
Let's have Get Up, Stand Up. Very apt.
Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life's really worth. Said all that glitters is gold. Half the story's never been told. Now you see the lights. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fights. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life's really worth. Said all that glitters is gold. Half the story's never been told. Now you see the lights. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
That was awesome. And I think the message of the song is also very, very
True.
sincere and one that should be taken by everybody. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for taking out the time and sharing your time with PTV World on this auspicious occasion of Eid, and Eid Mubarak to all of you. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the program as much as I did, and Eid Mubarak to all of you and all our viewers, and goodbye.